Last month, I signed one big, beautiful bill and allowed no tax on Social Security for our great seniors, okay? So how's that? Not bad, right? No tax on Social Security for our seniors.
Okay, hopefully I can make some sense out of this stuff. It's really hard for me to do, and when you listen to accountants do it, the numbers just kind of go around in your head. But first thing we should understand, Social Security is not all taxable. Now I've got something up here now. Let's say you are married filing jointly, up to $32,000, 0% taxable. So if you make $32,000, bring in $32,000 from Social Security, $0 are taxable. 32 to 44,000, up to 50% of it's taxable. But that's not the total. It's between the 32 and the 44 is 50% taxable. So you're starting out not with very much taxes anyway. It's not very much. Now, okay, if you make a bunch more, you can be 85% and so on. I'm talking about the El Cheapo guys like me. And I got this thing off of ChatGPT, and I assume it's reasonably close. And it sounds about close. Because when I started this whole thing out, I was thinking, you know something? For most people that are kind of middle class, they're probably going to save $1,000. They're still going to pay taxes, but they don't pay very much taxes on this stuff anyway. But you'll save maybe $1,000. So if you're in that, 32 to 44, 50% of it is taxable, then there's a comparison here that has the with the deduction, without the deduction of $6,000. Because understand, what Trump is doing is he's going to add a $6,000 deduction. That's all he's going to do. Deduction. A deduction is way different than a credit. Credit means you get that money back. Deduction means they deduct it off of your gross income, adjusted gross income. So what you end up with for the guy that makes about $50,000 and has $40,000 in Social Security, he will save about $900. Now, if he didn't have that $50,000 income, if it was only 10, he would save even less, far, far less. So when Trump says something like that, it's just a lie. There isn't anything about it that's true. You're paying taxes on it. You didn't pay a whole lot of taxes on it in the first place because the government recognized that you were not, if you're fairly poor and your income over and above the Social Security is very low, maybe some, IRAs or something like that, then you're not going to pay much taxes on it anyway. And so a guy that did not have that $50,000 in income above the Social Security, he would pay nothing. It would be just virtually nothing. So this whole thing's a lie. And I mean, if you want to go, I've linked this guy that did, he was a financial planner, and he's done a little bit, and it's useful. But again, he's not going to be specific on what you're going to save because he can't be. He's got to look at all the weeds and all the different things that go on in taxes because taxes are complex. But the plain and simple facts, when everything is done, if you're a poor guy, you don't pay diddly in taxes. That's my cat. You don't pay diddly in taxes anyway. If you're kind of middle class, you pay some taxes, but this thing ain't going to cut it very much because it's already cut before he started. That's it on this one.